Hi there, Kingsley here. In this video, we will dive into the powerful topic of overcoming trust issues and creating a thriving relationship. You will also hear the story of our fictional couple, Sarah and John, and how they were able to overcome a huge trust issue. Now, here's what I know that trust, as the work that I've done with hundreds of couples, and this seemed to be a reoccurring theme for a lot of couples, and that is the issue of trust, whether it's because of something that has been violated, an infidelity, a breach of confidence, or there's something that's happened in the relationship. Trust seems to be one of those reoccurring themes that I hear so often in the work that I do over the many, many years of counseling and our coaching. And so what I know is trust forms the foundation for a strong marriage. Any relationship that doesn't have trust or a marriage, you really don't have a relationship or a marriage. And so by addressing trust issues head on, you can experience, I believe, a transformative journey toward a more fulfilling and joyous marriage, union, relationship, right? That is what trust will do, because trust is essential, I believe, for any healthy relationships, right? Without trust, it's difficult to feel close to your partner. It's difficult to share thoughts and feelings, deep thoughts and feelings. And it's very difficult to build a strong foundation for your future together. And you would agree, wouldn't you? It is very difficult. So if you're struggling with trust issues in your marriage, here's what I want to tell you. You're not alone. Like I've mentioned before, you're not alone. And many couples I have experienced this issue of trust to some degree at some point in their relationship. The good news is that there are things you can do to overcome trust issues and create a thriving relationship. So I want you to consider three questions as we get started here. Right up front, I want you to consider these three questions. First question is this: have you ever faced trust issues in your marriage? How did it impact your relationship? Question number two: what steps did you take or would you take to initiate the healing process and rebuild trust with your spouse? And question number three is: how can faith and belief in God guide you through this challenging journey? Now, to set the tone for this video, I'm going to share with you then the story of Sarah and John, so you'll have a context for the rest of the video, but also possibly see if you can relate to any parts of this story, so it makes it more personal and it makes it more relatable as we go through this video. Now, Sarah and John have been married for 13 years. They have 2 children. Sarah found out that John has had an affair with a co-worker. John had at first denied it, and later he confessed to it. He claimed it happened only once. And that's how things tend to happen, right? The first a denial, and then possibly through whatever pushing or probing or asking or whatever case might be, evidence being presented, there's an admittance of that. So he admitted to it and confessed to it later on. He claimed it was a one-time thing. Sarah, as you can imagine, was devastated and committed and struggled, right? She was devastated and she struggled to trust John again in anything. She felt like she couldn't trust him with her heart or her future. And she wondered what else may she not have known, or doesn't she know about John? So trust created all these things for her. Now, John was very remorseful and committed to rebuilding trust with Sarah. He went to counseling and started attending church. He also made a point of being honest and transparent with Sarah. He made certain that nothing was off limits for her to have access to, so she could trust him again. Okay. Now, that's the story of Sarah and John. Is there any part of that you relate to? Have you experienced that, or are you experiencing that? Well, whether it's that kind of trust issue or on any other kind, you probably are dealing with or have dealt with trust issues. So, as with this story as a backdrop, the topic of how to overcome trust issues and create a thriving relationship may be difficult for some spouses as you listen to this, as you have to release some things. But I believe it's where healing can take place, um, because it's important for you to not just act as if it never happened and just keep moving on with your life. So you may find yourself and may be able to relate to either Sarah or John in this story. Now, when we talk about trust issues and somehow creating a thriving relationship from a trust, when trust was breached, the relationship was violated. Some people might object to the idea that trust issues can be overcome, and I hope you're not one of those. They may say that trust is something that is either there or it's not. They don't see it as something that can be rebuilt, be worked on and rebuilt. They don't see it that way. It's either there or it's not. However, I believe that trust is like a muscle that can be strengthened with time and effort and commitment. So here are three possible thoughts that people may have who object to this idea. They may say it's too hard to overcome trust issues, and especially when I've been hurt too many times. So trusting again is very difficult, and I get it. I fully understand. Yes, it is hard, but here's what I know. Everything that you now experience as easy started out as hard. Hard is not the issue. The issue is, are you willing to work through and recover from this hurt, pain, devastation that you experienced? You might be also saying, my partner has done something that I simply can't forgive. Or you may say, what if my spouse is unwilling to work on rebuilding the trust? Now, if you have ever had any of those thoughts, or even contemplating those things, or have heard that, would you put in the comments below just a word of agree or disagree, or even add to that if you want to. But comment below, let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this matter. Here's what I do know, though. Overcoming trust issues requires effort, right? But it's not impossible. By understanding the underlying causes, adopting a growth mindset, and implementing what I believe the proven strategies, I'll give you some proven strategies today, you can build a solid foundation of trust in your marriage. I believe your marriage can even be stronger than it was ever before what happened. If you're struggling with any of these objections, I encourage you to keep watching. I'll share some tips and strategies that can help you overcome these challenges and build a thriving relationship. By the way, if you're new to this channel and wondering who I am, I'm Kingsley Grant, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and a certified relationship coach. I have helped married couples, Christian professionals who are struggling in their marriage to strengthen their intimacy, deepen their connection, honor God, and ultimately have a happier marriage. I've been doing it for several years now. I myself have been married for almost 4 decades, so I've had some experience living this married life, but also working with multiple couples over the years, and think that has really qualified me, I believe, for talking about things like this. I've been there, lived it, and have experienced that through my professional and personal life, and I hope that you'll appreciate that. I want to also recommend that if you want to hear more about my thoughts on topics like this, happier marriages, and other topics around the marital relational aspect, you can listen to my podcast and take me with you in your car, on your walk, in your jog. And it's much more easier than watching a video, which you have to sit down and watch. You can take me with you, put the earbuds in your ear, and just keep moving. And you can go to happiermarriagesecrets.com, happiermarriagesecrets.com, and you'll find access to all my podcasts. And I would love to hear your thoughts at this. At the end of this video, I'll share with you how to get access to some free resources that I have to offer, and all the links will be in the description that follows this video. Now, I know that overcoming trust issues are not easy. It takes time, it takes patience, and a commitment of both partners. But here's what I do know. There are some benefits that you can have when you are willing to work on recovering from a violation of trust in your relationship. Here are some of the, of course, there are many benefits out there, I believe, but I want to share with you three, I believe, of the most important benefits. And the first one is increased intimacy. Yes, you heard me right. Increased intimacy. When you trust your partner, you're more than likely to share your thoughts and feelings with them. And this can lead to a deeper and more intimate connection. I've heard couples say that since a trust issue came up in their relationship and they were able to work through that and establish boundaries and safe space, their relationship is so much better than ever before. So it can happen. Number two, I believe, benefit is better communication, right? When you trust your partner and recreate trust with him or her, you're more likely to be open and honest with them, which can lead to better communication and a better way of resolving conflict in a much easier way because you're now talking things through. Stronger foundation. A strong foundation of trust is essential, as you know that, for any healthy relationship. So when you trust your partner, reestablish trust, you can feel confident that they will be there for you no matter what, because they're willing to put everything on the line to either to have forgiven or to become vulnerable and transparent. And so overcoming trust issues, I believe, lead to a more intimate, secure, and fulfilling relationship with your spouse. Now, before I share with you the three main strategies that I believe is helpful or most important of how to overcome trust issues and create a thriving relationship, and also share that with you through the lens of Sarah and John, let me ask you to do three quick things. First, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like what you're hearing, and click on the notification bell so you'll be notified of all new releases of this channel's videos. You don't want to miss it. Also, by the way, if you are still in this kind of flux of your relationship, and whether or not you're in a flux or not, but you would like to get a good feel of where your marriage might be right now, I want to recommend that you take the Happier Marriage Assessment quiz, because it will give you a chance to get a good feel of where your relationship is and what you can do about it. And you can go to happiermarriagesecrets.com/quiz and take this quiz. It's less than 90 seconds. Boom, you'll be out, you'll be finished, get your score, and get a readout of what it's like and what needs to be your next step if your score is what it is. Okay. Now, how do you overcome trust issues and create a thriving relationship? Now, we want to reflect on Sarah and John's story. You remember Sarah and John, right? Sarah found out that John had an affair with a coworker, and she didn't know about it, and she found out. She was devastated. John was remorseful. He repented. He started doing the right things and working on their relationship, right? So as you listen to that story, I want you to consider three effective approaches, right, including the wisdom from the Bible as to how you can truly restore this relationship and overcome trust issues and create a thriving relationship. Now, there's many ways to implement these strategies, but I believe these three that I'm sharing with you are important enough that you should take stock and listen to that and really see if this will work for you. I believe it would, as it would work for Sarah and John. First strategy is be honest and transparent with your partner. If you're ever going to rebuild trust, honesty, transparency have to be there. You've got to commit to honesty. No more secrets, no more hiding your phone, and no more, taking a call outside, and no more not answering the phone or hanging up and saying wrong number and all those different things, that games that people play. Be honest and transparent with your partner, right? About your thoughts, your feelings, and your needs. Be honest about the questions they ask you about what has happened in the past. And I believe that at some point they, of course, need to move past that and begin to act in a trusting manner. But you got to be honest and transparent. That's the first important strategy or tip that I want to suggest, or advice I want to give you. Second one is communicate effectively. Now, it means that you're going to be able now to take time to listen to your partner and be concerned about what it is that's on their mind and in their heart. And when they speak, you want to acknowledge that. You want to not just dismiss it. You don't want to brush it off as if it's not important, or don't have time to listen to your spouse. You've got to communicate effectively, which is active listening, right? Which is paraphrasing, which is reflective listening, which is mirroring what you're hearing. Those are ways you're going to communicate effectively. So everything you want to speak about is spoken about. Create, like I've spoken about in a past video, a safe space emotionally where you can have these kind of conversations, these deep, fierce conversations where you can be very civil, but actually listening to the hurts and the pain and being able to acknowledge what's being said, what's being done. That's effective communication. I would call that empathic communication. And the last thing I want to mention is be patient and forgiving. Now, as you may know, this takes time to rebuild trust. Trust isn't rebuilt overnight. It takes time, and it cannot be rushed. It cannot be forced. It cannot be somehow demanded or commanded. It has to play its course. The hurt party is the only one will know when they're ready. So be patient and forgiving. Each day, walk in the forgiveness of each other, as the Bible speaks about. Is to be able to say, as God has forgiven me, I'm willing to forgive you. I've done greater things than this, and God has chosen to forgive me. And so I need to be patient with you. I need to forgive you. I need to be kind. It doesn't mean, and this is what some people are worried about, forgiveness does not mean you've forgotten it, right? It's not like you won't recall it. It's not like you're somehow going to have amnesia or this memory. That can happen, but unless God works a miracle and amnesia happens, you're going to remember it. And it's healthy to remember things of that nature. Why? It helps you to discipline yourself. It helps you to restrain your emotion. It helps you to work on some muscles that would not be worked on if those things had just gone away. It helps you to become a better person, and a better version of a better version of you can emerge as a result of these things. So be patient and forgiving. So these three things: be honest and transparent with your partner, communicate effectively or empathically, and number three, be patient and forgiving of your partner. Now, in this video, we talked about how to overcome trust issues and create a thriving relationship. Covered topics, of course, as identifying the root cause of trust issues, communicating with your partner about concerns, and building trust over time. Patience. So if you're struggling with trust issues, I encourage you to reach out for help. Get some professional help. That's very important. There are many resources available to help you overcome these challenges, and I believe create a stronger and a much more lasting relationship. Overcoming trust issues is not easy. I want to emphasize that it's not an easy journey, but with commitment, patience, and faith, you can create a thriving relationship. So to summarize, overcoming trust issues and creating a thriving relationship requires what? Intentional effort, vulnerability, and a commitment to grow. By implementing these strategies as open communication, acts of love, embracing forgiveness, you can forge, I believe, a stronger bond, a stronger relationship, a stronger marriage with your spouse, and honor God through your marriage, right? It's a journey, but it's each step forward, you're building, I believe, a foundation for a happier and more fulfilling marriage. I hope this makes sense. I hope this resonates. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on what this means. Again, you can show your appreciation by clicking that subscribe button and the like button, and also the notification bell. But make a comment down below in the description below. I would really appreciate that. So thank you for joining me on this transformative journey. I know it's like a fire hose coming at you, but thank you in the journey to overcoming trust and creating a thriving relationship. Remember, you have the power to rebuild trust and experience the joy and fulfillment God desires for your marriage. Stay committed. Thanks for watching. And again, hit that subscribe button before you go. And remember to take the marriage quiz at happiermarriagesecrets.com/quiz, happiermarriagesecrets.com/quiz. With that said, let's go and make marriages happier again. Let's globally eradicate unhappiness from marriage. That's our mission. Join me in this. Spread the word. Share this video with at least one spouse, one couple, And that's how we're going to eradicate unhappiness from marriages globally. So until next time, peace out. God bless. And I'll see you on the next broadcast on this channel. Please share. Thanks so much and God bless.